Hey everybody, welcome to Sam's Doing Stuff. What am I doing today? Let's see how much of this I can get done. Yeah, I've got a bit of a mess out here. Or you can say I've just got a bunch of stuff staged, right? It's just how you say it. Anyway, I want to get this cleaned up as much as possible and turned into firewood. And if you watched last video, which I hope you did, you saw me make one of these bins out of an IBC tote bladder to fill with firewood splits off of the Eastonmade Ultra. So the system is put the rounds up here, split them into the bladder and set them to the side. And I really, really like it. That's the beauty of firewood. Whatever works for you is what you do, you know? Yes, I can split into the dump trailer and we talked about the advantages, but for some reason, I really like this bladder thing. So I need to make a bunch more of these. But at the same time, I've run out of these cages. Well, I haven't run out of cages. I've run out of the cages that are prepared, that are ready to be filled with firewood. So it's, you know, a win-win. Let's get both problems solved at the same time. Now I'm in a bit of a time crunch. I've got big storms coming. They're saying flooding type storms, like, you know, could be some severe stuff. But I've got the barn, of course, and I want to get set up inside the barn, get as much of this inside the barn so I can just boom, 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 knock everything out. So as soon as I get a bunch of these cages put together, at least 4 of them, I got to have at least 4 to, you know, make another cord. 4 cages makes a cord for me. And yeah, if I'm set up in the barn, it doesn't matter. It can rain all at once and I'll be ready. Well, those are gonna have to sit for a little bit. That black stuff inside, nasty. Yeah, don't care about the grass over here. I want to gravel this area someday anyway. So if it kills the grass, great. But they have to sit and dry or whatever for a little while. Let me show you something that has turned out to be one of the best ideas I've ever had. This down here, you all know I ran electric and water down to this barn. And the water was kind of an afterthought. I figured while I'm running the electricity. So running the water was a great idea. But even beyond that, a hand washing station. I just bought a cheap plastic soap dispenser off of Amazon and I attached it to the outside of the barn right here. And these are for golf carts. These are golf towels and they hook to your golf bag. Well, I just put an eye hole or eye hook in the bottom of this board and I hang that there. And this is, if you get contact dermatitis the way I do, it's a lifesaver. But just for washing that crap off my hands and everything, it's fantastic. So I'm sure a lot of you have a spigot or a hydrant somewhere on your property. Put a post next to it, do you a setup like this just to wash your hands. It's fantastic. That's as high as this goes. People were asking, why don't you raise it up more? This is high enough. It allows me to not have to bend over too much. I'm putting the baskets outside the barn on the concrete right now because I ran out of weed block and I filled up all the area that I have with weed block out there. So when the new weed block comes, I'll make more room in the field and I'll put it back out there. But this is ready to stack. Oh, well, everybody's saying they like variety. So how about this type of variety here? Let's take a break. Goodness gracious. Woo! Little breeze going over here. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So much work just to get ready to do work. Oh, that's what happens when the system changes. You gotta prep things. Now the baskets, of course, once I've cut a basket, it's cut forever. Never gonna have to recut it again. But these bladders is a new, I needed something to do with those bladders anyway. This is perfect. I really like this. I just, tired. Well, if you're gonna sit on your butt and rest, might as well do something while you're not doing anything. Well, this is nice, isn't it? Oh my goodness. I think I just discovered gold right here. Oh, this is fantastic. Oh yeah. All right, guys, as I'm splitting this pallet of logs, I just want to talk a little bit about the technique I'm developing when using the Ultra. Now, I do really like the single wedge on this. Why? Because I'm used to a single wedge, and I think it gives you way more, well, I know it gives you way more precise splits and creates a lot less waste. So I'm going to stick with a single wedge. It's just my preference. Four-way wedges, of course, going to be faster and make more firewood faster, but just because I'm picky, it's just the way I am. So anyway, with the single wedge, so the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to split that log right down the middle like I did first, lay the one half to the side, and as long as it's out of the way for your splits to come off of the far side of the wedge, you're fine. Just keep splitting them one at a time, and they just pass off into the tote like that. Now you'll see there, I took that half and I split it into a shingle almost, let's call it a shingle. And then I split that shingle down into small pieces. I think that gives you a cleaner split than trying to split into wedges. A lot of people might say I'm fighting geometry, but I'm not fighting the grain. You know, if you cut into like a pizza shape, it'll always be cutting across the grain. These little squares, once you get it split down into shingles, you're splitting with the grain every time. I think it gives you a much cleaner split. Now this one's just, it's a crotch. The entire thing almost is going to go to my parents. It's becoming messy. You can kind of see, but yeah, just split it in half, set the other half out of the way, and then continue using what's closest to you. You always want to split what's closest to you first. So move that little shingle out of the way and just keep splitting down until it's small enough that the splits can just fall into the tote. There's another shingle, here comes another split, and all of these splits will go right into the tote. And that's just what's working best for me. So let's speed up the rest of this process and get it done. The goal was to get this all cleaned up, right? Wasn't that what we started out at the beginning of this video? I said I want to clean this all up. And now I'm making more of a mess. And let me tell you something. I came down here last night. I didn't show you a video, but I tried power washing these things. I may have gotten, you know, some of the crap out of them, but it also got me all messy. I was covered in black junk. Oh, at least it washes off. I mean, I had to sand myself off to... Gojo is a miracle. If you don't have Gojo. Anyway, of course you have Gojo. Oh, gosh. Oh, these things are just nasty. Oh, I hate these ones filled with the black crap. I don't think I'm gonna use these with this black tar stuff in them anymore. I might use the tops, cut the tops off, and then just fold them up and throw them away. Or recycle them. I don't think they recycle this stuff, but either way, they're gonna be gone. I've got other ones that don't have that gross stuff, black stuff in them. These have like a glue or something, you know, just something to sniff. Yeah, and I'll just throw the ones with the black junk away. Well, no sense in griping about it, since I went through all the trouble of cleaning these up as best as possible and cutting them to shape. Yeah, you gotta still wear gloves, because it'd get all over you. But I'm taking the crappiest pallets that I have, the ones that are like broken apart, and those are the ones I'm using for this. And then I'm just taking the splintered broken pieces off of them, and I'll drive a screw through that, and that holds it in place so it doesn't fall off the pallet. It's hot. Oh, it's stupid hot. That was fast. Filling all these bins, that was super fast. Now, I know I'm gonna get somebody beating me up because everybody's process is different, so I don't wanna tell you that I'm telling you this is the way you have to do it. But the learning curve has been flattened. Moving from that old box store splitter to this Ultra, I don't think there's any more refinement to be made. This process is perfect. I mean, we all know the Ultra does not have a log lift. So if you have a tractor, any tractor really, because mine is a BX, a little tiny subcompact tractor, and it replaces the log lift because I put them on the pallets. And then right into these, oh, if you could get some better bladders from your totes, that would be key. But these crappy black covered things. They're working, they're working. Fill them up, and I can fill them to the top and still lift them with that little tractor and move them over to be split and get them out of the way. Prepare a bunch of them. I've got 6 of them made now, so you don't have to stop. And it takes no time at all to back the tractor out, get another pallet full of logs, and start splitting. Right now, as you can see, I am switching to cherry. So switch your bladder, empty your bladder, you know, and switch it out, you're ready for cherry. That's the beauty of not dumping everything into one big pile, whether it's on the ground or in a dump trailer like I was doing before. You know, little bites. That's how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. So little bites like that. I think this is the absolute best way to run a pro splitter like this Ultra. It just flows. It really flows. And I'm getting a little bit better at it too. My stamina has increased, and I'll tell you what, I really feel like I could just keep running this thing. It's so fast. Oh, I had a really good day today, these past couple days. We didn't get the rain, they said. Not at all, nope. You know, it rained 2 inches to the north of us and at least 2 inches to the south of us, but we got a downpour for maybe 5 minutes. It's impossible to predict the weather around here. Anyway, that's it. We got this. We definitely do. This is the process. This is the way it's happening from now on. I finally figured it out. I appreciate all of the help and all of the suggestions. Whether I used it or not, it doesn't matter. It makes me think. It makes me run things through in my head. And this is what I landed on. This is the best way to do it for me. Not to say I'm not going to change if I want to later. I might split into the dump trailer if I've got a bunch of mixed hardwood and I just want to shove it all in the dump trailer. That could happen. But for now, this is it. So appreciate your help once again. I appreciate you subscribing and I appreciate you liking these videos. You're the reason that you're the reason I do it. So, and thanks everybody for telling me, you know, give you as much variety as I can. There's a lot of projects, a lot of different stuff coming up, and I am going to be doing product reviews on those extra days. So if you see a product review and it's on a Friday or on a Monday or not on my Saturday or Wednesday, don't be, all I see is product reviews on these freaking, I'm doing those as extra, so get off my back. All right, everybody, we'll see you next time, depending on what I do when I'm doing more stuff. See you then.